This On, Season 10, Episode 13, where we watch America's Culinary Cup, Season 1, Episode 1. And I postponed my wedding. My wedding was supposed to be today. Chris Lorenz.
I'm like a little Thai pepper. Spicy. This is Brian.
Raw eggs, baby. This is Max.
Those are all quotes from this week's show. But last week we watched Love Overboard, and you guys voted it a middle third show. Tell us about this week's show on Twitter at Who Put This On. Now, before we get into this week's show, I had a thought earlier today, and I was like, what if we did like a news segment at the beginning of the podcast?
Interesting.
All right.
And then I was like, how do I do that? Let me ask Gemini for some sources. And then I'm like, it'd kind of be nice to like have like some sort of dashboard where I could look at these. And then I was like, 2 hours later, I've got a website that aggregates news about TV that I prep some news for us.
All right.
The RSS feed didn't go back super far, so these are mostly from like this week. So, you know.
Honestly, that's what we need.
I know. We'll see if we can get some. Let's see. The most interesting news I think that happened this week is Amazing Race said its next route is guess, Max. You want to guess this one?
The Silk Road.
That would be good. No, it's just the U.S.
If the Silk Road hasn't been done by them in like fucking 20 years, what are they doing?
Yeah, we don't really. I don't know if we have a lot to discuss about that, but it is kind of boring and bland to just do the U.S. But there's a lot to explore.
Yeah. Like, I think the one thing I always think about is like people compare like the US to like Europe. Like if you visit like Europe around, like there's going to be a lot of different cultures. And depending on like where you go in the US, there's going to be different cultures too. It could be exciting. We'll see some stuff.
I would love if they just went to like random Midwest towns and they're like, this is the biggest ball of twine. Now see how big a twine you can make.
Do they have to like hit every state or what? Unknown?
Unknown. I didn't actually read the article. These are mostly headlines. So they might have said. I don't know. Let's see. There's some sort of summer house news. Let's just not talk about that. It's we don't really know anything about that.
I do know things about it. Basically, there were two separate couples. One of them publicly broke up. The other one has not publicly broken up, but two people in these two separate couples are now together, and that's like, scandalous. And it's Bravo fodder.
Why do you know this?
Because my girlfriend is into Summer House.
Oh, the news that I had here is just they're going to do a spin-off with somebody in Summer House.
That's true. They are calling it The City because they also have other shows called The Valley.
Oh, there you go.
Just because Summer House only takes place during the summer.
So is this the couple that broke up?
I don't know who will be on the spinoff.
Okay. This website doesn't allow me to go back. I marked it as red, so. Then the next thing we could talk about, The Voice is doing an all-star season, which is interesting because the premise of that show is that they turn around for people that they didn't know. Like, isn't that the whole premise?
Yeah. If I had to rate that news in a top, middle, bottom, it's bottom of the bottom. Who gives a shit?
I mean, the whole thing of The Voice is like really to create like an all-star team. And so if you do have like all-stars in there, you're going to be like a little more selective. You still won't know who the people are. I mean, it is like whatever. But if you're like looking for like strong,
know who the people are but they sing, so you should know who they are by their voice.
Maybe they'll do something like Masked Singer. Who the hell knows?
The Masked Dancer. Our last news article to discuss is Drag Race interrupts its art with AI slop. So like apparently there was a segment on RuPaul's Drag Race where he was pretending to paint, and then they like turned the paint picture over, and it was like an AI like photo, AI created thing, and everyone hates AI. But in relation to that, I made this whole website in 2 hours. So I feel like until people can like get their hands on it and like understand its power, I feel like AI is going to be maligned. Not that it shouldn't necessarily be maligned, because people are like, let's auto create a bunch of kids cartoons on YouTube that's just a bunch of garbage. Like, yeah, I mean, like obviously that's not great. But like when you can automate stuff you've always wanted to make, or just like have an idea and you make it, like I don't know. I like it in that respect. But I understand the hate somewhat.
Yeah, like I wonder if there's more context to that too. Because if it was like supposed to be like some stupid joke of just like pretending to paint, then it's like something AI crazy. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. Like I don't think they actually intended to create something, and it could just be mocking anyway. Like I get it with like the arts field. I don't get it when it's like just general AI hate. Just check your sources. Don't believe everything you read. Like you should always on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into it. Let's get into the show, Brian. What show do we watch this week?
All right. This week we watched America's Culinary Kitchen. 1 second. America's Culinary Cup from acclaimed Emmy Award-nominated food expert Pagna Lakshmi from Top Chef and Taste the Nation features an invitation-only lineup of America's most elite chefs to compete in the ultimate culinary arena, with chefs Michael Ceramusti and Wiley Dufresne serving as judges. 16 chefs will be tested against the competition's 10 culinary commandments: meat, vegetables, sauces, dessert, innovation, flavors, sustainability, world cuisine, consistency, culinary science, and technology. The very principles that define greatness in the kitchen. Ceramusti and Dufresne bring their unique perspectives to evaluate taste, creativity, presentation, and technique, determining who advances, who is eliminated, and who ultimately masters the commandments to win America's Culinary Cup and claim the biggest cash prize in culinary history, $1 million. That is America's Culinary Cup on Paramount Plus.
I snoozed a little bit there on the show description.
You know what? This is the most decent show description that I could find that wasn't one line, so I'll take it.
You know,
it's pretty accurate.
Yeah. This is what's going on. Is somebody lagging?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so. Are you?
I feel like Max is lagging for me.
Okay.
Or like delayed or echoing.
Yeah, just delayed.
Right. Yeah, I also really had to call back to watching that show because I was like, these names are not said how they are spelled. And I think I got Dufresne's like nice. I don't know about Sir Moosey.
I think his name is Dufresne, and I think the other one is a Chiramusti, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I thought it was close with Dufresne. But yeah. I'm counting it.
Yeah, so this is a cooking show. People cook, and they compete against each other. And this is supposed to be like top of the top, like elite level chefs.
Some sort of utmost chef, one might say.
Utmost, yeah. Some sort of a Bouca d'Or winner chefs are here. I've never heard of a Bouca d'Or. I don't know what a Bouca d'Or tastes like, but apparently there's Bouca d'Or winners on the show.
I think that's the competition. I think it's a global chef competition.
Yeah. Apparently it's a big deal. We got Michelin star chefs. We have Top Chef winners. And so like that's one thing that checks a box on the show for me in terms of cooking shows. If this is your first time listening to us or haven't listened to a cooking show before, I am not a huge fan of cooking shows, which we'll get into for reasons we'll get to later. But one of the reasons I don't like them is because the like level of play is usually all over the place, where you have like a Michelin star chef and then you've got granny cooking, for the family. And it's like, oh, how are they supposed to compete against each other? Like, I don't understand. And there's
So
always like a handful of grannies that are like obviously going to get kicked out first. But this show does not do that.
yes, the level of play here is always good. I will say I have recently watched something like 4 or 5 seasons of Top Chef in maybe the past year or two, and there are some home cooks who go really far and sometimes win on Top Chef. Um, the connection to Top Chef on this show cannot be understated because Padma Lakshmi hosted it for something like 20 seasons. And she stepped away in 2022, and now she has her own show, question mark?
Yeah, that was definitely
I
her own
mean,
show.
we're watching her. She's a co-producer on the show.
Yeah.
Co-lead or whatever on the show. So what I saw was she wanted to make like a cooking show but also a reality show. So like in this episode made that clear when they had like their first cooking challenge was a one head-to-head cooking challenge between the 16 of them. And then the 8 winners got to pick who the 8 losers went up against.
And also what they have to cook from sort of a menu of 4 items. So yeah, there's definitely some like gameplay here, which I appreciate.
Definitely makes this more interesting than I would normally would say for a cooking show.
So like for instance, in the bottom half of people, there is a Bukta or whatever this award is called, gold medalist and silver medalist, and they're like, let's put those two up against each other. So regardless, we can guarantee one of these really good competitors goes home.
Yeah, another person wanted to just like put them up against other people in the hopes that both of them go home, and that's a real gamble there.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Captain. I don't know about that, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, they did the right thing. Like that's what you should do.
Oh yeah. Chris, you ever see the movie Do the Right Thing?
No.
Me neither.
So the one thing with that is like, how much do the produce? So like, okay, so they do these 1-on-1s, 1v1s, and they tell you what the score was. So there's an actual score that people get, and I'm just curious. The show feels very real to me, and for me to be like, I'm like conspiracy theorying, like, oh, did they concoct a way to get those two in the losing bracket so like the first episode's more interesting to get them head to head? And I don't know if that's real or not. But that's in my head. Conspiracy theory, not in me.
But no, a 60-point, very well articulated scorecard. I think it's real. I think it's the real deal where each of the 3 judges scores on like 20 points, and you just add them all up.
Oh, how did you know that there were 20 points?
I think it's just kind of like 20 points per judge.
That was my understanding, and they said there was a maximum of 60 points.
Okay. I'll miss that.
And there was a segment where they like had a diagram.
Okay, I missed that.
And I think it's what's the term? Granular enough that I just believe it is what they say it is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So there's 4 people going to be eliminated this episode. So they do that. So you got like, it's essentially double elimination. So you win the first time, you're in, and then you do another 1v1 at the end with the other people picking the dish instead of you getting to pick essentially whatever dish you wanted. It's supposed to be like your star dish, so like expectations are kind of high for that kind of a dish, I imagine. And then the losing four are then eliminated from the challenge or from the show. What else to say? We got two judges, Michael somebody and Wiley Dufresne. I think you mentioned that earlier, did you?
Dufresne.
Dufresne. They seem pretty good. I like their energy, their vibe. I think the three of the judges worked pretty well together. When they're like eliminating people, they go to like Michael and then Wiley. Like, Michael, who should be eliminated? Who won? And then they go to Wiley, and Wiley's like says which one versus the other. And if it's like a tie, then Padma gets to weigh in. And that person gets eliminated. And one person got eliminated by like the two of them are like agreed that you should be eliminated, and then Padma joins in and be like, I agree with them. I'm like, bitch, why'd you need to say that?
Like, for what it's worth, it was unanimous.
Yeah,
Get
like,
your shit together.
Wow.
Although I do like that I do like the component of like she mostly defers to like these two. These guys are the real deal. Wiley Dufresne has a very famous New York restaurant called WD50.
Have you been there?
No, I think it's closed now. He also like shows up as a chef or as a judge on Top Chef a lot.
And then some more about this competition. They were judged on taste, creativity, technique, and presentation. At least for the first and possibly second challenge this whole episode. But they teased. I don't understand this tease. Why you think I'd care? But there's some sort of cooking commandments that they're going to go through with the rest of the season, and I'm like, great. Like, yeah. I guess that's something. And then your show description read them out, and I'm like, oh, okay. Brian, what do you think about these cooking commandments?
I don't know, because it seems like that there's 11 of them.
Give me a sample.
Okay, actually, maybe if you count like the Oxford comma. So meat, vegetables, sauces, dessert. That's 4. Innovation, flavors, sustainability, and world cuisine. 8. Consistency, and then culinary science and technology. So that'd be the 10.
Okay.
I have some beef. I have some beef with this. That's not a commandment. That's just a category.
It's the commandments, Chris.
Yeah, the verbiage could be worked on. Even the title, America's Culinary Cup, is a little like clunky to me.
Thou shalt not cook without meat. Thou shalt not cook without vegetables. Thou must have dessert.
Sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just crazy to me. And then, Brian, the other thing to note is not related to the show at all, is that not all Christians believe like the same number of commandments exist. There's like, and what the commandments are is not necessarily the same across religions, or like Jewish and Christianity and different sects. It's very interesting if you want to go down a rabbit hole of commandments. But
it's nuts, yeah. I mean, it's a little interesting to like learn about that stuff. I didn't realize that like the 10 Commandments, like there's a few like the major like pieces that like I would expect them to kind of follow that. So that's interesting that like there's different numbers there.
Yeah. And then in my notes, as like this competition's going on, like, is the timer ever real? Is my question literally in the notes. And then in this show, people mess up and don't get things plated in time because the timer went off. And I was like, this is amazing.
Mhm.
This has never
The
happened before in any show I've ever seen.
So this happens time to time in Top Chef, but the amount of times it happened in this episode 1 is honestly shocking to me. Like, did these guys not prepare to be on the show? Like, this happens maybe
Yeah.
twice a season per Top Chef. Just one occurrence.
It could be that like you went from 0 to 60 in like one challenge, versus like Top Chef. You probably went like 0. You did some warm up challenges that aren't as timed, and like
Yeah.
by the time you get to like the first elimination challenge, you've probably gone through a couple cooking sessions, and you're ready. And like this, really from a cold start, I could see being an issue.
I do wish they got like time to just like cook something by yourself just to learn the equipment, see if the pans run hotter than the ones you're used to, so on and so forth. What the hell is the steamer?
Yeah. I also appreciate in the show that they did like a staggered start. So like the judges were tasting the food as it was hot, which is like once I found out that judges were eating food cold, I was like, wow. No wonder I don't like these shows.
That was also kind of interesting that they actually staggered it for this. Like, goddamn, that like every show needs to show that.
I hate to keep hammering this. Top Chef does this as well. Yeah,
Well, I
I
don't
think
watch Top Chef.
They
I did.
usually do a flight of courses every like 15 minutes, I think.
Okay.
I did watch Top Chef during COVID, I believe, and I don't remember them doing this. So it's not like they've been doing Top Chef for 20 seasons. Like doing it in Top Chef for 20 seasons. I think maybe once the news got out that sometimes these things are cold, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's not true of like every challenge, but a lot of them, especially when there is a head-to-head component.
Yeah, maybe it's just a head-to-head battle, and I'm not paying that much attention because like a lot of Top Chef is not a head-to-head battle. It's just like the bottom 2 dishes are gone or whatever. Go to elimination. And then let's see what else happened in this. Somebody made a Greek salad, which I thought was interesting. As a person married to a Greek, as a person married to a Greek person, I guess it's just a weird statement. She makes Greek salads a lot, which is just like tomatoes, cucumbers, and feta. No lettuce or anything. So it's interesting because I told her that, and she's like, "Really? That seems very basic." And he really elevated that kind of dish.
Was this the one that he like poured liquid nitrogen all over?
I don't remember that.
And there was
dish.
like an olive stuffed with feta. Yeah. So he was doing like molecular gastronomy fanciness.
I honestly have no idea what that is.
It's like the shit with like foam, and you're playing with texture and just like showing off how scientifically advanced your cooking is. I think it's kind of I don't give a shit about that type of stuff, but it's certainly impressive. Just Google it later. Molecular gastronomy.
Max, I didn't realize you were so anti-science. I thought you'd be all about the science.
If I could get this for $10 and not $200 tasting menu, I would be more pro it. It is outside of my normal day-to-day reach.
Let's see. The other thing, I guess, so they do that head-to-head, and the challenge, people got scores from 25 to all the way to 52, and somebody lost 51 to 52, which heartbreak. Or like somebody won. I think the lowest winning score was 38 to 36.
These close battles are always rough. I hated to see like the 26 to like 50 something. That was just like brutal.
I think that was the guy who didn't plate his stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was some minutia with somebody plated a duck, I think, but or a lamb, but didn't plate it on the other plates. Which is the first time I've ever seen anything like that happen on a cooking show. There was another mess up. I don't remember what it was.
But yeah, a lot of the mishaps here really lends to the truthness of this challenge.
The gravitas.
The veritas.
And then let's see. What other? We have the final head-to-heads. Somebody made fried chicken. Somebody made clam chowder, shrimp and grits, and beef stroganoff. And that's kind of the end of my notes.
Yeah, I feel like we don't need to go into all the people except for a couple outliers. The one lady who canceled her wedding to go on the show and immediately gets kicked off after 2 bad meals.
Yeah, I think her name was Rochelle.
Yep. From Milan to Minsk.
Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, like, it definitely puts another stamp on This Is Real, because it's like this storyline that they kind of have to like throw away, like use in one episode and then it's gone, which is
I
not
guess
like
that's fair.
normal. Well, I mean, they didn't focus on everybody, so like it's like a very competently done reality show. Like it's honestly one of the better cooking shows I've seen. As I've said, it's solved a bunch of the problems that I have with cooking shows. But the main thing about cooking shows that this cooking show doesn't solve is that a significant portion of this show is watching people taste food and telling me if it's good or bad, and not telling me what it tastes like. I don't get to taste it. It feels like a tease to me, and I just start checking out, and I just stop caring. So, like, I don't know. This show doesn't solve that problem. I don't know what'll solve that problem. Nothing. So, like, cooking shows are just, like, not for me, but I would put this in the top third of cooking shows easily.
Chris, what if Netflix or Paramount sent you like whatever the food tastes like in a bottle, so you can just like taste a little bit of it as you're watching it?
You know, I would love to have. I would love that. I think that a dessert show where they send it out, but like it's totally different between somebody making like 12 of something in their oven versus making like 20,000 that people ordered. Like that's like an order of magnitude difference that like the show is now completely different, because it's like, okay, I'm going to make this brownie. Here's my recipe. And here's me making it for 20,000 people, however many people I order it.
Oh no, Chris, you're not getting the brownie. You're getting like a little vial that like you get a little droplet, you put it in your mouth, and you taste it like that.
I think it would be more sensible to have like what's like a popular, like a cologne reality show where like after like they film it and then you could order the cologne set so you could smell all the colognes that are on the show.
That'd be kind of nice.
I think there is such a missed opportunity for any of these cooking shows to like partner with HelloFresh and just say like, okay, every time an episode airs, the next day, if you sign up for this, you can get the ingredients of the winning dish and you can make it yourself at home.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like the emails at the end. Like, this guy didn't get picked, but here's the email if you're interested in this guy.
Yeah.
I agree. What else to talk about this show? I don't know. Who is the worst human being? Should we move to questions? Any other minutia?
I don't
know if there's a worse
there was one person who had a master's in biomedical engineering and just said, I'm going to chef instead.
You know, some people find their calling later in life. One of the guys says that succotash can suck my ass. I can nominate him for, I don't know. Is that a good joke or a
Wordplay.
bad joke?
Best quote. I mean, it's a pretty good one.
Oh, you could say one of the judges because they went to dinner without Padme or I can't think.
Yeah,
She's not
Um,
Princess Amidala, dude.
right.
Brian, what speed did Max watch this show at?
I think well, I know the answer, but like you probably do a 1.5 maybe. Because there's a lot of fluff in this. Like you can easily skip past it even and then just be like, all right, I'm gonna roll it back to like 1x during the judging.
The 1.5 is such a good guess. I'm gonna go 1.25.
Today, it was just a 1xer.
I didn't know that was a setting on your TV, Max. I thought that like automatically defaults to 1.2 at least.
You know, maybe I talked about this last week. My girlfriend's Apple TV has started doing this thing where you pop on a show and the speed is right, but sometimes the audio is like
Pitched.
pitched up a little bit. So it'll be like, that is not what Tina Fey sounds like. And you never know. Like it'll just pop up every like 2 months, and you just have to unplug and replug it. But it's so odd.
Do you think it's like going faster because it's pitched up? Or
I haven't measured it. It's very subtle, but you're definitely like, that's not what they sound like.
yeah, I could see that. What Tina Fey show are you watching?
I don't remember. I think it was actually my girlfriend was watching like a Bowen Yang podcast and was like, that's not what he sounds like.
Max, what speed do you listen to podcasts at or audiobooks?
My current audiobook is 1.5xer.
Okay. I can't do it, Max. I can't. I like.
It really depends on the narrator and the complexity of the story, the vocabulary.
Yep.
It really depends.
Okay. All right. Would the show be better as a TikTok or Quibi, or I guess normal length show? What do you got, Brian? What do you think?
I don't know. Like I was saying, like you can cut out quite a bit of this and just like get the judging and be fine. I do think like there's enough like spread out though that like I don't know. I don't think you can make it a Quibi, but you can trim it down a little bit. Also, this episode was longer too. It was their like 90-minute season premiere, so take for that what you want, Phil.
So it's not normally 90 minutes?
Right.
Oh, interesting.
That is welcome information to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the second part of my insanely long intro, but I did not read that part.
Okay. Let's see. Drinking rules. Every time they taste a dish and you think it looks great and they don't like it, take a drink. Or vice versa. Like you think it looks bad and they like it, take a drink.
All right. I got one. Every time they use saffron or tamarind, finish your drink. They're unique enough spices that I don't think you're gonna be finishing your drink too often.
Okay.
Every time they don't plate something, pour a little whiskey not in your cup and then try and drink it, but it's not in your cup.
Let's see. Anytime. Let's see. What other kind of challenges we got in here?
Every time they say Michelin, take a drink.
Anytime somebody's like praised that they're like, oh, I can't believe they're so good. I can't believe I'm going against them or something like that. I think you should take drinks. I feel like there's a lot of that in the recent shows we watched.
There was a lot of mutual respect and adoration among these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of like down talk. There was a lot of up talk.
Yeah. That does lead me to like I wanted to bring back a question that we had. What did we find positive about the show? And that could be like, hey, like there's a lot of up talk.
A lot of up talk. I appreciate the staggered starts. So like Like, I felt like people actually got to taste the dish at the proper time. People screwed up, so I knew that it was real and they weren't just making stuff up. All positive. Mostly positives about the show. Like,
Yeah.
Here's a question for you guys. There's 3 judges, but they're always making 4 bowls or 4 dishes. Who's that 4th one for? Because you never see the chef eating their own thing.
camera.
Your opponent.
For the
I
camera.
like the camera. I
Camera
actually like the
eats
camera.
first.
It's so they always have a dish to, like, you know, do whatever production needs to do with the dish. I imagine.
That is probably true. I like the idea that you hand it to your opponent and be like, "Here, taste this. You need to see what you're up against."
You need to shove this in your face. All right, so we do a rating system. We do a stack ranking system where we're top, middle, and bottom third. And some people stack rank in their stack ranks. Brian, what do you got for me?
I'm gonna put this bottom of the top. I think as far as cooking shows go, like this kept me engaged. Um, I don't know how the commandments piece is gonna play out. I would check out another one. Yeah.
Max just took a big yawn, so I'll go. Let's see. I'm gonna put this in the middle. And I kind of checked out. I just didn't care after a bit, but I do like, throw some reality show nuggets in there, like start the competition off. And as I said, mostly positives. It's just mostly like what I don't like about cooking shows in here that just you can't really solve unless you just take the cooking out of it, and then it's a different show. And then maybe I'm in. I don't know. Like, what was Hell's Kitchen? It's pretty fun because it's like about like a kitchen, managing a kitchen, and people getting yelled at. It's always fun when people get yelled at. So maybe if there's more yelling in the show, I'd be in.
I like Gordon
Max,
Ramsay.
what do you got for me?
Easily top third. First episode was too long, so maybe middle of the top. I think Top Chef. I never really cared for the pilot. Once you like get to know the chefs, like maybe 5-6 episodes in, that's when it really shines. I will probably end up watching this season, and I will report back.
Tell us what you thought about this show on Twitter at whoputthison and YouTube. And you can email us questions at whoputthison@gmail.com. All the socials, we got them. If you want to see some funny videos of Brian and I, they're on TikTok.
They will be forever.
Now we do shout outs to other stuff we've been watching. I watched more of that Naked and Afraid show. And it's interesting. I mean, spoilers. Doesn't matter. Like 4 or 5 people like walk away from the show, and like it seems like they walk away pretty quickly after each other. Like one person dominoes, and then like 3 people domino, and then that leads to another domino, and now there's like 4 people left.
Whoa.
And they had like tried to spread it out amongst like episodes, but like they have it so quick, like 4 people leave in one episode.
That's so nuts to me.
Is
there anything particularly bad going on to them?
No. What it really comes down to is they were out there for like a couple weeks, and the challenges are pretty grueling. Like you have to like you go all out, and you're just like kind of exhausted, and they're not like alone where they're like, okay, well, I'm going to set up and use my energy wisely and find food and then like sit around and make stuff, and like there's a lot more going on, I think, in the show. I don't know, and people got hungry and they're like, I'm not going to win this, and they were just like, I'm just going to leave. And they did. I mean, some people are like, want somebody left because it was interesting that there was some tension in this where like at some point somebody had to pick their partners, and they noticed that the like one camp hated this one guy. They just had like a terrible camp like atmosphere, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna pick this other person, so you have to go back to him. And eventually he like leaves because they hated each other at camp, and that was kind of interesting. Like a way to like get somebody to leave, and like people get injured and they're like, fuck it, I'm leaving. It's really what like two people. That's what it came down to. I was just like, I burned myself. Like, fuck, I'm leaving. Get out of here.
They're
Or
playing
like
the
they
long
lost the
game.
challenge, and just like they lose the mental game, and then they're just gone. So I thought that was interesting. It's kind of a mix between Alone and like a regular show, because like Alone goes until like you tap, right? So everyone except one person taps.
Mhm.
So it's like it's interesting to have another reality show where people tap, because like that's just so unusual. Like people don't tap in like a regular reality show.
Not usually, no.
Max, any shout outs this week?
No, nothing in particular. Yeah.
Brian, any shout outs this week?
Nothing new. Katie and I have been continuing to watch Beast Games, and like, small spoiler, there's like a Survivor crossover. So Jeff was there. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, Jeff!" So it
I
was kind
don't
of fun
think
to
you
see
could
everybody fan.
I don't think you can describe Beast Games better than saying, "Oh my god," something.
I mean, everybody was really fangirling over Jeff. Like a lot of people there were like, "Oh yeah, I'm competing in this because I like Survivor." So
Yeah. I mean, they have how many people on that? I'm sure you could find.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I'll end the shout outs with a movie on Hulu. There's a movie called Pizza Movie. It's the return of a stoner comedy. They haven't made the likes of these in like 15 years. It's funny. It's kind of formulaic, so don't go in expecting like, The Great Gatsby here. It's a stoner comedy. I I give it 4 out of 5. It's fun. I enjoyed it. The guy from the Goldbergs is in it, and he's great. It's got the guy from Stranger Things in it, and he's fine, but the curly haired dude from Stranger Things, I don't know what his name
Matarazzo
Oh yeah,
from Prank Encounters.
is. Prank
I was gonna
Encounters.
bring that up.
Go listen to our episode on Prank Encounters. Tell us what you thought about Prank Encounters, whatever. Next week, did we ever actually pick what show we're doing next week?
I don't think
I had
so.
2 good options for next week.
Like we got Funny AF and
No,
then American Gladiators.
no, that's 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Can you read? Read.
No, I can't.
We have Foul Play with Anthony Davis, which is on an actual network, TBS. And then there's Alex Cooper has a new show on something called the Unwell Network called the Winter Games.
The hell is Unwell Network?
I don't know, but I think it's on YouTube. So,
Thank goodness.
So probably
She-
Foul Play, I imagine. It's on a real network.
It is worth noting that Alex Cooper produced last week's show.
Oh.
Uh,
We can put it in the backlog.
all right.
Well, let's see how it's going.
So Foul
next
Play.
week we'll do Foul Play with Anthony Davis, and then 2 weeks. I really want to push for. We got competing reality shows that are going to debut that week. The reboot of American Gladiators is coming out on Amazon Prime, and then there's a new stand-up comedy competition special called Funny AF on Netflix with Kevin Hart, and the trailer looked pretty good. So I don't know.
Also,
What
if you haven't watched the American Gladiators documentary, definitely worth a watch.
Oh, there's an American Gladiators documentary. Where is that?
It's on Netflix. They go into like some of like the dark stuff behind American Gladiators and also the fun stuff. But
ooh, I'm gonna get on that. All right, watch that too, and we'll see you guys next time.